I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
I just got done watching Barry Lyndon. Thanks go out to Will, who sent me a PayPal request on this. Very, very nice guy named Will. If anyone's ever interested in sending requests, reviews, re-reviews, commentaries, movie topics, you do via my PayPal directly. Or you go to my Patreon and become one of the tiers. Certain tiers give you certain things. Either way is fine, if not, no worries. But if so, both links are down in the info box. I like Stanley Kubrick films. I do. I really, really enjoy The Shining. I think The Shining is a classic. Jack Nicholson, all sorts of stuff. The great direction, creepy mood and atmosphere of the Overlook Hotel, beautiful shots, that the camera that goes down into this model and it blends into the hedge maze sequence. Really enjoy The Shining. I like Dr. Strangelove. It's crazy. It's, I think, fairly funny. It's got some insane stuff like the finale where a character gets on a rocket and goes yeehaw all the way down. Really entertaining performances, including from George C. Scott, of course Peter Sellers. I really like Full Metal Jacket. If I did top 10 favorite war films, Full Metal Jacket would be on there. From the excellent performance by R. Lee Ermey, may he rest in peace, to Vincent D'Onofrio, felt sorry for that character. The fact that it's a Vietnam film, but actually did not take place in the jungle, which made it different. Certain suspenseful sequences, like this whole sniper scene, and the way the music was used, and certain camera work. 2001 Space Odyssey, I reviewed on the channel, along with The Shining. I really enjoyed 2001 Space Odyssey. The cold, distant, but yet interesting, to me at least, look at the future, at just the creation of the effects and the music and the mystery of the monolith. The reason I've been doing this whole fucking video is this is how I felt watching this movie. And it's 3-hour running time. 3 hours. 3 fucking hours that I will never get back. And that's not me blaming Will. He was very generous, very kind. Anyone who sends in PayPal requests, I said any movie, and I'm sticking to it. Will, if you're watching, you're perfectly fine. I say that by blaming the movie, because I don't know why I think of movies as people, but for some reason it helps. This movie could go fuck itself. This is the worst Stanley Kubrick film I've seen. and I have not seen Eyes Wide Shut. This movie's fucking garbage, in my opinion. I don't understand any of the praise, any of the pass. This movie's fucking garbage. And I know people don't hate me for it. So people don't ask me, why, Matt? Why? This is literally how it made me feel. I'm not expecting action-packed, dynamite Michael Bay. I just said I highly enjoy 2001: A Space Odyssey. I highly enjoy The Shining. The Shining is not a slasher film. From the opening, it catches me with that music and going over the landscape and the titles, The Shining. Dun, 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 dun. Dr. Strangelove, really interesting dialogue in that movie. It's quirky, and I still find it really funny, Dr. Strangelove. This one, though, it's 3 hours of an asshole played by Ryan O'Neal. And he gets his clutches in the lady, spends her money. The stepson doesn't like it. Shoots Ryan O'Neal in the leg. Ryan O'Neal's depressed. Loses all because he's a fucking asshole. Goes back home. The movie ends. That's pretty much your entire fucking story. Whether I read up reviews, well, it's a dictation on, you have those romance novels, and this is a strike against it because the lead is unlikable and he's actually wanting to get his own gain, his own fortune. And I don't give a fuck if it's not entertaining or interesting or intriguing. The story is boring and dull and way fucking over long. 3 fucking hours, movie. Ryan O'Neal, I don't mind as an actor, but I don't know if he can work as a lead. The stuff I've enjoyed him, he's mainly been the supporting cast category. Maybe if you had another actor, whether it be a James Woods, a Brad Dourif, or something. I'm just going off the top of my head. Right from the get-go, you don't like the guy, and I know you're not supposed to like the guy, but right from the get-go, he's a farm boy who's in love with his cousin. He wants to fuck his cousin. And the cousin wants to fuck him, but she's like, ooh, I hit a ribbon. I could not find it. Puts his hand on her tits. It is there. Even people praise the camera work, the cinematography. I was not that fucking impressed. A couple wide shots of the soldiers. A couple wide shots of the landscape. Mainly it's a lot of people in period costumes, in rooms, candlelight, pasty white faces. Maybe because I don't give a shit about the time period. Maybe because I'm not a period piece type of guy. I don't know. I don't see what makes this story interesting. I don't see what makes this story intriguing. This character was not interesting. Okay, you want to make him unlikable, but at least have him be fucking interesting. What is interesting about Ryan O'Neal's character? He wants to fuck his cousin. This guy who is an asshole British, was he a general, colonel, captain, I think it's a captain, British captain, and he still wants to fuck his cousin. And even though the British captain, yeah, he's a bit of a dick, but if he marries, his uncle is going to get all this money, and hey, the uncle has been caring for you and your mom since your dad went away and died because of a duel. We kept you here rent-free. We didn't treat you like shit. If this Captain marries my daughter. Hey, or yeah, I think it was the guy's daughter. Hey, marries this girl. He's gonna give us like $1,500 a month or whatever. He'll pay for everything. We'll set for life. But the cousin, Ron O'Neal, is still horny for her. Gets into a duel, kills the guy, but then doesn't go after the cousin. You did all this. Anyone who wants her, I will go after. Then when he wins the duel, is there a scene where he goes after the girl? Hey, let's run away with each other. Let's fuck. Let's suck. Whatever. No. He immediately leaves. Goes to another place of the country. Then gets robbed on the road. Then joins the British Army. Has a little fist fight with a guy. Is part of the 7 Years' War. Which I know this is how they did back in the day, but on a side note, I always thought this was such a stupid way of warfare, where 100 people, you just go at each other, and even though they got all their guns aimed at you, you're still, I'm not going to block, I have no shields, I'm not going to try to hide, I know I'm going to die, oh well, just the civilized way. No, it's the stupid way. It means you're a fucking moron. But I know it's a different time period, different states, different beliefs. I understand. Just a tangent. It's not the movie's fault. It's representing what it did back then. So this guy dies, and then it was his friend, and then when he dies, before he dies, they kiss each other on the lips. Where the fuck that came from, I don't know. And kiss me boy, we'll never meet again, and kisses his fellow man on the mouth. He deserts his platoon, his battalion, goes to another army, the Prussian army. They go, well, you don't join us or we're going to send you back and you're going to die. He works with them. There's a point during a battle, and the battle scenes to me were not even that great. Maybe because I've seen so many movies since before watching this that have mesmerizing battles that I go back and watch this. What am I supposed to be at all with Stanley Kubrick's direction? If you didn't tell me this was Stanley Kubrick, I would not have guessed it. This doesn't have any of the awe-inspired techniques that I would see in 2001: A Space Odyssey, with the bone that goes up and it turns to the spaceship. Or in The Shining, I mentioned the camera, it's the model, it goes in and then it's the hedge maze. Or Danny rolling around and the camera's following him the whole time, right behind Danny. Or the sniper scene in Full Metal Jacket, where it's like the push in, where from the sniper's point of view when it shoots, and then boom, we see one of our characters get shot and die. None of that I saw in this movie, unless there's some other version I need to see. The shots felt static. There's some wide shots, there's some 2-3 people shots. The story, I don't see what is engaging about the story when the character is supposed to be a duller, boring, uninteresting character. Fine, you're going that route. Maybe that's why they don't fucking do that. I'm sorry, just because it's Stanley Kubrick, I'm not going to kiss its ass. How many times am I going to mention how I enjoy Dr. Strangelove, The Shining, Full Metal Jacket, 2001. At this point, I don't need to see any of the others. A Clockwork Orange I wasn't big on, but it's a lot better than this. It's a lot better than this. I don't hate A Clockwork Orange. I think it's okay, but it's a hell lot better than this. I'll give it that. But the Prussians go, hey, you saved my life during the war. We're going to give you a job. You're going to be the spy of this guy. Which honestly, this entire part could have been easily cut out, because it serves no purpose. And for a 3-hour movie, Yeah, I could think of some shit you could cut. This whole thing where you're with the Chevalier, Irish spy. Oh, he gives his position to the guy immediately because they're both from the same. He's happy that he meets a fellow Irishman and vice versa. And really, though, if you cut this out, what would you lose? Because all that happens is, oh my God, I met a fellow Irishman, they hug. The Chevalier, he does some gambling. Ron O'Neill, who's like acting as his servant, he'll do some stuff to tell him what the other guy's cards are. There's a point where, hey, if you don't pay up, I'm going to fight you in a duel with swords this time, not a gun. They get tired of it, he leaves. What was the point of the whole goddamn sequence? You didn't even need any of this. Was it interesting? No. Was it funny? No. Was it scary? No. Was it action-packed? No. Was it romantic? No. Did it go into anything in the second half of the movie? No! Just all that happens is he tries to get with higher up people, find his riches, meets this woman, seduces her, marries into wealth, and then after he's married, he's a complete dick. He's unfaithful, the stepson doesn't like him. If the stepson gets out of line, he whips him. Barry Lyndon, the main character, whips him. The stepson's hating him more. He has a new kid. He brings his mom to live with them. The mom says, hey, technically if she dies, you're not going to have any money. So now he wants to be a noble. So he tries to impress the teen shit nobles. Look at my dick. Look at your dick. Our dicks are great. Did I be a noble now? He doesn't say that, but still. Meeting powerful, rich friends. But then the stepson comes by and says, fuck you. You've been stealing my mom's money. I'm tired of it. I'm grown up now. Fuck you and die. Kiss my ass. Get a foot in your ass. So the rich people like, oh, yeah, this Barry Lyndon guy is an asshole. No shit. Then the kid that's actually his kid, not a stepson, but his actual kid, wants a horse so fucking badly, gets a horse, falls off, gets paralyzed and dies. Which, the only part I felt about that was sadness and the fact that it made me think of Christopher Reeve. Just in a way, that's what happened. He fell off, got paralyzed, and then eventually, sadly, died. So, Ryan O'Neill's depressed because his flesh and blood kid died. The stepson says, hey asshole, I know you're drunk. We're going to have a duel with guns. The guy fucks up, accidentally fires. Barry Lyndon could kill him, but then fires on the ground. And then the stepson goes, no, that ain't enough. And then shoots Barry Lyndon in the leg. What happens after that? He gets his leg amputated. He's depressed. The stepson goes, hey, either you leave and never come back, and hey, we'll give you a sum of money each month or so to stay the fuck away. But if you ever come back, you're going to be put in jail. You're not going to have any money. Tough titty. So he goes back with his mom. Never came back again. And then the movie's over. And I sat there and I went, what was the point of this goddamn movie? Thank you once again, though, to Will. Very, very nice guy. Very nice guy who sent in the request. Thank you to everyone who has sent in PayPal. I do mean it could be anything, so that's my fault. I still maintain that because, hey, at least I saw it. It's another movie off the checklist. And even if one person gets entertained with this video, maybe that's something. But by the end of this 3 hours, I wanted to take a nap. And the character by Ryan O'Neal is uninteresting, is boring, let alone being unlikable. It's a period piece drama where why should I give a shit about a single character? What dialogue am I supposed to give a shit about? There's nothing there. Even the scope of Stanley Kubrick's normal degree of filmmaking, I don't see that in this. I don't know what people are talking about. I see a couple shots where you get a lot of soldiers, but you know what? I saw shit like that in Glory, which I'd rather watch. I've seen multiple movies that have done that. The Patriot with Mel Gibson, which I'd rather watch than this. Right, that's a different movie, different tone, different type of movie. That's not fair to compare, but still, nothing in this. I don't get it. I don't know what the hell. Oh, it's such a gorgeous movie. What parts? What parts? Maybe it just wasn't impressive compared to Stanley Kubrick's other films I mentioned. Some shots of the countryside, some shots of soldiers on the road. Kind of on one hand, a couple battle scenes, but nothing that in depth or nothing that extended. As if I want this movie to be any fucking longer, right? Some decent pieces of classical music, okay. Ryan O'Neal, I don't know if he was right for the role. I just don't know if he had really the oomph. Or maybe it was the way the character's written. I don't know. But he just was not interesting. And at the end of the day, of 3 hours, what story did I really get? A guy who... A boring guy who wanted to fuck his cousin. Fucked around the military. Married a girl for her money, got rich, spent a bunch of money, stepson was pissed, his actual kid dies, he loses his leg, he leaves, he fucks off, the end. Wow, I'm glad we took 3 fucking hours to tell that fucking story. Fuck this movie. Fuck this movie up its ass. I don't care how much hate I get. This movie can kiss my ass. I will never watch this film again. Just go watch 2001. Go watch Doctor Strangelove. Go watch The Shining. Go watch Full Metal Jacket. Hell, go watch A Clockwork Orange. It's a hell lot better than this. I got nothing else. But either way, thanks for watching. Take care. And we'll see you guys later. Thank you. Bye-bye.